Women's House in the Women's Suffrage exhibit. It's located here in the tea room because tea rooms and ice cream parlors were places that women could go on their own, so it made for a good spot for them to meet up and talk about important issues such as suffrage. 2020 marks the 100th anniversary of women's right to vote. Before this, only 6 states allowed women to vote. Throughout this time and the time of World War I, women continued to picket and to bring attention to the issue. Alice Paul was a key figure in fighting for this amendment to be passed. She was a Quaker from Burlington County, New Jersey. She worked for 50 years for the passage of women's rights. She founded the National Women's Party, organized massive demonstrations, and authored the Equal Rights Amendment. This work was not easy. Alice Paul was held in prison for 7 months and force-fed in isolation for protesting and blocking the sidewalk. Woodrow Wilson, a former governor of New Jersey, who was president when this act was passed, was not helpful in fighting for women's rights. Women marched on Washington during his inauguration, and they also used his quotes against him to support their fight. One quote was, "We shall fight for the things which we have held nearest our hearts, for democracy, for the right of those who submit to authority to have a voice in their own governments." While he spoke that he was for democracy and individual voice, he did not make it any easier for women to gain the right to vote. It wasn't until 1920 when the 19th Amendment was passed, which allowed women to vote. 36 states ratified the amendment, which is all they needed to pass it, and New Jersey was one of those 36 states. There's so much to say and learn about the women's suffrage movement. This was just a short introduction, and now we'll move into some history about ice cream and how to make your own ice cream at home. Ice cream really became popular later in the 19th century when new technologies were built and the industry grew. Now more and more people could enjoy ice cream, and ice cream parlors were opened and became popular. New ice cream treats such as sundaes were created as well. The ice cream cone became popular at the World's Fair in 1904. And for some local history, the Coors Ice Cream Company that you may know from the boardwalk celebrated their 100th anniversary of soft serve ice cream last year. Ice cream takes about 3 gallons of milk to make 1 gallon of ice cream. It is mass-produced with machines, but today we're going to make a small amount of ice cream using heavy cream, which is a little different than regular milk. Hey everyone, I'm going to show you a super easy and fun way to make your own ice cream at home with just a few ingredients. I'll put the full recipe at the end of the video so you can reference it later. But you'll need a mason jar. It has to be glass, not any plastic container, but as long as it's a glass jar with a lid, it'll work. You'll need 1 cup of heavy cream, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of vanilla, a pinch of salt, and any other ingredients that you might want to add, chocolate chips, strawberries, crushed up cookies, anything you like in your ice cream. Now I'm making vanilla ice cream. If you wanted to make chocolate, you can just add half a teaspoon of cocoa powder. So basically we're just gonna pour everything into our mason jar. And just a pinch of salt. Now we can screw on the top, and you're gonna have to shake this for about 3 minutes. So you wanna make sure your lid is nice and tight, or put a cloth over it so it doesn't spill. And keep shaking for 3 minutes. It should come out to be a sort of thick consistency. I'll show you when I'm done. So now we're gonna check our consistency. They say a good test is it should easily coat the back of a wooden spoon. So that looks pretty good to me. You don't want it to be watery like before. You want it to be nice and thick. So here's the part where we have to be patient. We have to freeze our ice cream for 3 hours. So go ahead and put your ice cream in your freezer. Go outside, have some fun, come back in 3 hours, and we'll see what it looks like. You can see the ice cream came out pretty thick after 3 hours. I might even leave it in a little bit longer so it gets the hard ice cream consistency.